positive energy and good vibrations from me to you. You have now tuned in to the Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
That was good, baby.
How you, man? Perfection.
There we go.
Perfection. What's good, my guy?
I'm about to fuck up this tree again.
It's all over you right now. It's all over the boy right now.
Fucking tree. What up?
What's good, my guy? How you?
Chilling, baby.
That's it. We here. We back at it again, man. Listen,
Yes,
as usual,
sir.
Positive energy
And good vibrations.
From me to you, it's your boy RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and
your boy JP, the Imperfect Husband.
And yo, this is another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. I hope all of y'all are having a phenomenal day. I hope you guys are doing what y'all supposed to be doing out there so you can have the life that you not only want, but you deserve, man. So turn up out there.
And right, just to follow that, what he just said, comment, like, subscribe.
Yes.
Tap that button down below.
Yes, please. Digital currency is definitely something that we thrive on, we use, and it helps us to get this platform and keep growing to its highest potential. So please continue to like, comment, and share. And continue to reach out to us and give us those comments, man, because we definitely be in those comments and we definitely respond. So we appreciate each and every one of y'all, man.
Yes, sir. And follow our Instagram at Imperfect Fathers Podcast.
Yes, and we are
and Twitter. And not Twitter. And TikTok.
Correct.
And our TikTok.
TikTok, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Yo, man, so how you been this week, brother? What's going on?
Been all right. Been good. We been good?
Yeah, I had an eventful week this week.
Yeah.
For some reason or another, like,
yo, we only starting and you geeking already.
Yeah, I'm already. Yeah, I'm just coming out the gym.
Get it? That's what it is.
Yeah,
your heart is on 1,000.
Yeah, bro. Like I was in I just came from the gym just now.
He made me commit to the gym with him, and I still have not gone.
Yo, get on him, y'all. Get on him. He got to get in there. And that's gonna be a part of the conversation tonight.
But I've been lifting weights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With weights.
The spoon, food.
No, so you got a weight problem. You can't wait to eat.
Yeah, that. I'm on a seafood diet.
All the food you see.
I see it, I eat it.
Yo, this is gonna lead into the main topic of tonight's conversation. So keep that in mind. But yo, this week, bro, like I had an eventful situation with a young lady.
Okay.
So I'm in the store and you know, you're doing your thing, getting things that you needed. And I happened to see this young lady. And to be honest, she's beautiful. Beautiful young lady. Looked like she's probably in her late 20s, early 30s probably. And she was on her phone and she was doing her shopping. Now, as she's doing her shopping, she drops her purse, her wallet. So I see it. I see it fall. I see it fall from her. So I'm, you know what? I'm a little ways away and there's nobody in the middle of the aisle with us but me. So when I get to her, I'm going to tell her, ma'am, you dropped your wallet. So I walked past the wallet because for whatever reason, I just didn't grab it.
Yeah.
I wasn't striking to grab the wallet. I just want to let her know, listen, you dropped it. So when I go to tap her, I say, excuse me, ma'am. The same way. The same way I'm talking to you right now, same tonality and everything. Excuse me, ma'am. What do you want? I'm on the phone right now. I don't want to bother you. I don't want to talk to you right now. No problem. No problem. So I go back to doing my food shopping, doing what I was doing, getting my stuff. Now, I think about 15 minutes, 20 minutes might have elapsed. And now I'm going to my car and I'm outside. And at first I was a little peeved off because I'm like, that's messed up. All I want to do is tell you that you dropped something.
Yeah.
But I got over my emotions of it all and I went about my business. I get in the car. And lo and behold, the girl that lost her wallet is sitting next to me in the car and she's crying on the phone. So her window is down. I happen to roll my window down. I wanted to hear, why are you crying? Just me being nosy. I can't believe I lost my purse. Had you just been like, huh, excuse me, sir, what can I help you with? And just heard me out, you wouldn't have lost it. So I go, ma'am, I'm the individual that was inside of the store trying to tell you, for that very reason you're crying right now, it's on the floor. Did you pick it up? No, ma'am. Why did you pick it up?
Because of that.
I said, you know what? Have a good day. Hopefully it's there when you go back to go pick it up. But I was just so taken back of not only just her lack of just being nice, right? And just hearing somebody out, because you never know what somebody's trying to tell you. But then you're in the car crying about it. And when I tell you that you messed up, it wasn't I'm sorry. It was I'm sorry, my mistake. It was, why didn't you pick it up? I was like, wow, your mentality is twisted. So it's no longer about how I feel about the situation. Now I know internally you're struggling. So I had to get over my emotions to see the bigger picture. And I was like, yo, I hope that she has at least some kind of peace tonight, or she finds her whatever she needs, because has she just listened? And then that puts me in the perspective of how many times have I been in a situation where had I just listened?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, had I just taken the moment to hear someone out?
Yeah.
I felt bad for her, bro, because like I know what it feels like to lose something. And as a matter of fact, but right before we got on the camera right now, one of my homies just called me talking about he lost his wallet. And you know, like I know, we carry our lives in that thing.
Yeah.
So when we don't have it and you stressed out, you're in a bad space, and it's tough.
Yeah. Well, because of that, my wife bought me an Apple AirTag for my wallet.
Yes, shout out to Nene.
Because I stay misplacing my wallet.
Yeah.
So she got me a wallet with an Apple AirTag in it so that doesn't occur.
Correct. Listen, bro, shout out to the wife for that.
You're damn real. We freaking, we don't lose our heads because it's attached to us.
That's the only reason. Some days I feel like I lose that too, bro. Like, and I know where it's at.
Where's my glasses? Where's my glasses? Oh, I got them on.
Yo, or like, listen.
They're on my head.
Or on your hand. I'm searching around the house the other day for my cell phone. Going crazy. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? My wife said, are you serious?
All right? You okay?
I'm like, yeah, I'm dead serious. I gotta go. I gotta run. I got an appointment. She's like, yo, look in your hand. I said, I love you, babe.
Straight out the door.
I love you, babe.
Straight out the door.
Pray for me. Don't talk about me. Pray for me. You know what I mean? But I know she probably gets approached by men all day long, right? And I take that into accountability. Like, I know a lot of women, especially beautiful women, you guys get approached by men all the time. And you got to deal with a lot of weirdos out there, which I completely understand and I empathize and sympathize with. But one thing you can't do is think that everyone thinks that you're so beautiful that they want you. Like I said, the woman's beautiful. I can't take that or deny that. And me sitting here saying that she wasn't, I'd be lying. The truth of the matter is, it wasn't her looks that made me want to help her. It was the fact that she simply lost something that could potentially devastate her. And I said to myself, you know what? Let me be a good person and tell her at least, yo, ma'am, you dropped this.
Yeah.
And the energy she gave off was energy of, well, I don't want to be bothered by you. You're bothering me. And I'm just like, man, like later on, you're going to be mad about this.
That's one of those issues of you taking out your own imperfections on somebody else.
Yeah.
You might be pretty on the outside, but your insides aren't looking good, and then you end up blaming others for that, and instead of taking personal accountability.
Correct. And
it happens a lot.
To be honest, bro, if I was a single man, like if I was a single man and I was going to approach her, right?
Yeah, that would be all the turn off right there.
I wouldn't even want to do nothing with you. I wouldn't even want to be around you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's
red flag number one. If that's off of that, you're trying to do something by this person being a good human being, trying to make a change one person at a time, and you got that type of reaction, no matter how bad your day was. You get what I'm saying? Like, we all have bad days.
Yes.
But we can only show who we are by how we react to what we can't control.
Facts.
Right? And if you believe that by screaming at somebody or trying to belittle somebody due to the person speaking to you without you knowing what the person's motive is, then where do we stand?
Bro, and it could have been anything. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it could have been anything. I could have been trying to tell her, move out the way, something dangerous is about to happen. It could have been anything. And to that, and to young fellas, like, don't okay that behavior now because you're young. You understand what I'm saying? Because I remember at my young and dumb stage, I call it, I thought that kind of attitude and that kind of energy from a woman was cute.
I never thought that shit was cute.
I don't know what it was, bro. At the young stage, it was like an attitude seemed to turn me on a little bit, a little feistiness.
Ooh, she feisty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That type of thought. I can see what you mean.
Because you already know, what the thought process is. Like, if she's toxic, she got that.
Yeah. what?
That gawk. she got that what the kids call it?
He said it, guys, not me. I just followed. She got that
what
he said. I just followed what he said. I don't know.
Yo, he's still a man. I don't care what he say. The truth of the matter is, though, bro, like, in situations like that, like, we have to do our due diligence about making sure that we value ourselves and not take someone else, how they treat us, as our face card value for ourselves. Because in a sense, bro, I was a little upset when she did that, and I was like, man, why am I so upset about this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was all because I cared more about what she felt or said in that moment. And in actuality, it did nothing for me.
Than the action that you was trying to make.
Right. And to be honest, like, there's no skin off my back either way, right? Like, she finds her wild or she don't find her wild, it doesn't change my day. But I just had to realize too, like, man, like, this is what young men are dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, because we're out of the loop, bro. Like, when it comes down to the dating world, I realize, like, yo, we can't give no dating advice.
Yeah.
What advice can we give for dating right now, bro?
I don't know.
We ain't been in the pool in almost 20 years.
I still got that Riz. I thought I should say that since we're talking about this.
You still got that? You feel like that was a perfect time to throw that in there?
Yep.
Yo, listen, man. Listen, I'm not playing with you today, bro. I'm not about to dive into that topic with you. I'm not going on another tangent with you right now. Shout out to your cousin, man. I'm not going on that tangent with you right now. But honestly, bro, like, I'm just grateful because it's like, yo, I didn't allow that to ruin my day. You know what I'm saying? Emotionally and mentally, I was strong enough to just get past it and let it roll off.
How you react to what you can't control is our greatest superpower.
Bro, and I was super. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be transparent and real. I was glad to come out of the store and see her in the car upset. You know what I'm saying? A part of me was like, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, because I gotta be transparent. I gotta be all the way truthful. A part of me was like, yeah, good for you. Good for you.
That was the petty side.
Yeah. Mr. Petty on the left was over. He was chuckling enough. Mr. Petty was on one.
I would have actually felt bad. My ass would have went back inside and actually helped to find her
honestly,
wallet, bro.
had she been like, oh my God, where is it? I'd have went back inside with her. You know what I'm saying? Just to be like, yo, it was here. But the fact that her energy was why did you pick it up? Was like, take your little happy ass back inside and find it yourself.
You better go tell your hubby to come and find it.
Bruh. Because we seen so many videos, even right now on social media. It was like, I seen a video, one of the dudes was like, you got a low tire. I don't need your help. And he's like, yo, you're tired. You're not going to make it too far. So he gets to the next light. He had his camera on. He gets to the next light, and now she's putting. Now the car's plup, 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 plup. She's like, oh, my God, you were so right. Can you help me? He's like, nah, call your man. And ladies, honestly, like, we're laughing, making fun of this because it's like, y'all put yourselves in the position to have this done to y'all. Like, if a man is trying to give you some kind of help, advice, helping hand, take it for what it's worth. Not all men are trying to get your drawers off of an act of kindness. You dig what I'm saying? Like, not all of us are just trying to get inside of your cheeks. That's not all of our energy. So it's like, when you put that same energy for every man and you operate under that, you're gonna miss out on a great opportunity to meet one of the probably your knight in shining armor. You know what I'm saying? Like single women out here are literally so unapproachable, bro, that I feel bad for the young men these days, bro.
Chivalry is dead, bro.
How do you approach a woman these days, bro?
Because chivalry is dead.
Shit.
Because it's dead. That's the reality. It's men have become. Let me start with boys. Young men have become fearful. In approaching women, whether they're cute or ugly.
Right.
Because they all have. Let me not say they all, but the great majority have a really nasty attitude and approach when speaking to men because they believe that all men just want to get in their pants.
Right.
And that comes from either past trauma or what they've been taught. You get what I'm saying? But
Correct.
There's a lack of humility.
Yes.
And like I always say, ego and humility can't coexist.
Bro, and I'm going back to our youth, right? My childhood. When I was younger, it was nothing for me to just walk up. How you doing? My name is Roderick.
Yeah.
What's your name?
Yeah.
How you doing, sweetheart? Like
you probably get cussed out.
You dig what I'm saying? Like and I'm saying to myself, and now I'm beating myself in the head trying to come up with like what would I say to a woman in this era? Like what would I
or you might get arrested.
Wow.
Or you might get arrested.
Damn.
Because it can be claimed as harassment.
Yo, that's scary, bro.
That is scary.
It's scary because like in this day and age where you're just looking for someone, and this is I don't care what no one says, I will defend this 10 toes down. Yeah, there are assholes out there in the world, but there are way more good men out there that just want to love and want to be loved. And I deal with them on a regular basis where it's like, man, all I want to do is give my heart to a woman.
Yeah.
Like a man is dying to give that. And for whatever reason, the energy is, and like you said, it's not all women. The same thing is not all men are bad, but it's not all women. But a strong majority of them are making it so tough, and for a man to get past his own insecurities to even go walk to a woman, do you know how hard that is for most men, bro?
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a second.
I don't think that's understood. The courage that it takes for a man to actually say, you know what? Let me go talk to Shorty real quick,
bro. I don't care if she's alone by herself or with a group of friends. That is the most terrifying situation for a young man to be in because you know that you like her. You know that you want to approach her, but you just don't know what to say.
Nobody wants to get rejected.
Nobody
wants to get rejected at the end of the day.
No. And rejection, yes, is a part of life. And this is why I teach my children rejection early.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I don't sugarcoat that. Like, you will be rejected.
Yeah. 90% of the word that comes out of my mouth is no.
My daughter felt rejection at 3, and it hurt me to let her go through it, but I had to watch it, and I had to let her go through it.
It is necessary.
Like it was yesterday. We went to a park, bro, and it was like 4 little girls, didn't know her, and my daughter is just very friendly. She'll go play with anyone. And, you know how kids are. They just try to go be a part of whatever is happening and then just merge their way in. And I watched her, and I watched the girls just not wanting nothing to do with her. And as a father, it hurt my heart. It hurt me. It broke me just to see it, but I could have went over there and grabbed her up and then played with her and taken her out of that situation, but I know that there's going to be a point in time in life that she's going to feel this again, and she's going to need to have the resilience to get through it. So I didn't console her. I didn't do anything. I let her feel it. And when the girls just yelled out, "We don't want to play with you," she cried. Then she came to daddy, and I explained to her, not everyone's going to play with you, baby girl. It's times in life you got to play with yourself. You got to be the party until the party comes to you.
Yeah. Yeah. In my household, I implement the whole salesman mentality, where out of every 10 answers, 9 are no, 1 is yes.
Correct.
Because when you go out into the world, that's what you're gonna face.
Yes, indeed. You're gonna get way more no's than you get yeses.
So and that also it helps me in the aspect of being the father of a student athlete.
Yes.
Right. Because playing sports, until you become who you are to become while you're in training, it's nothing but rejection.
Yeah.
It's nothing but rejection. You're the last one to get picked on the team. Mm-hmm. You're the last one to get the ball passed. If you're playing basketball, if you're playing baseball, you're the last one to get off the bench. Mm-hmm. So you deal with rejection on a constant basis within what you want and love to do.
Yes.
Which is the hardest part, right? Mm-hmm. Because you love the sport, you have a dream of being the next NBA star, but the amount of rejection that you get on a constant basis puts you down.
Yes.
Puts you down. And sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you try as a parent of a student athlete, how you try to bring up his self-esteem and to let him know, listen, this isn't failure. It's not, you can't see it as a rejection. See it as you need to work. You need to climb the stairs to be able to get to the top of that ladder.
Absolutely.
And it's a hard process. It's hard for you to see your son going through that hardship. Imagine coming home after a hard practice and hearing from your son, well, my team doesn't consider me part of, I don't feel myself as part of the team because the guys either they talk me down or they don't pass me the ball or I don't feel seen. I try to big them up, but I don't get dabbed. Little things that take place that you as a father, you want to be able to like rip that out and just say, it's going to be all right. I'm going to fix it. But you can't. You can't fix that. No. They have to walk that path.
Yes.
And learn not on their own, because you're going to be there trying to hold their hand, because you can't handheld them either.
No.
You have to try and guide them through the path, but they need to learn that on their own.
Yes. And to that point, bro, is like when it came down to things like that, and I always talk about the detriment of not having a father, right, in that space. But now when I look back to my situation and how I had to deal with that very thing, like I tell you all the time that growing up, I never was anywhere for too long until high school. So for me, going into a new building, a new group of friends, and trying to make my way in, it was a regular thing. So me getting denied, me getting ostracized or pushed away or not me made a part of the group was something I dealt with almost every week.
Yeah.
So on the basketball court was my safe haven. You know what I'm saying? It's because I can compete out there, but outside of that, I don't really know where to be or put myself. So a lot of times I went to different places, I found my way through basketball. So when people wouldn't accept me or wouldn't bring me into the group, I had to sit on the sideline. I had to sit by myself and just cope with myself. And it's not something that's easy, bro.
It's not.
It's not something that a child that especially that has a heart to love and just wants to be a part of, it's not easy for them to take or digest. But I do believe it's something that they have to go through and experience, because that feeling of feeling alone and not seeing is going to be the fuel to either do two things for you. It's going to push you towards being greater, or it's going to tell you, I don't want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because of that, it's why it's like, this is one of their first decisions that they have to make. And this is when I was going back in my mind, I'm like, yo, when was one of the first decisions I was able to legitimately make for myself? And it was literally, am I going to push through this on this sport? Am I going to push through not having no friends out here and having to play basketball and just play by myself until somebody finds me to be cool enough to hang out with them? Am I going to push through this, or am I going to say, you know what, I'm going to go play the piano?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And imagine that. Imagine going through that as a teenager or through your youth. And also because, right, you growing up without a father would probably have a different perspective when it comes to this. But me going through it with my child, I've had to mentally evolve.
Yeah.
When it comes to how I react to how he is feeling, right? Because at the beginning, when he would come and tell me whatever he's going through, I would hear him, but then I always had something to say about his outcome in practice. Why you didn't do this, or why you didn't do that? Why didn't you take care of this? Why didn't you take care of that? Not understanding how much he's actually going through mentally.
Yes.
It's me a lot more than adding to it.
Yes.
So at that point, truthfully, even if he wanted to fight through it, as a parent, you can end up pushing him into saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Because not only am I failing in what I love, but I'm also failing my parents.
Yeah. And that's a 10-ton weight that they literally have on them all the time. Like, they literally live with the weight of not disappointing the parent.
Yeah.
And then on to go into it, and you're battling what you're battling amongst your peers, right? There's 3 levels to children, especially when they're in the adolescent stage. They're here. They know that they're not a child no more. You know what I mean? They know they're big enough to make certain calls.
Yeah.
But they also know that they're not old enough to make all the calls. So they're in this weird limbo of trying to figure out where they are. Now, while that's happening simultaneously, they're in school trying to figure out their placement amongst their own peers.
Society.
You know what I'm saying? Amongst their own age group, they're trying to figure out, where do I belong? Where do I put myself? Am I part of the cool group, or am I part of the nerds? Am I part of the in crowd, or am I part of the out crowd? Am I an athlete, or am I a jock? Where do I fit in at? And then on top of that, you have the concern of, am I cool? Like, do girls like me? Like, am I gonna play? Am I good enough to my teammates? Because that's a war that you got to deal with every single day.
Yeah.
And then think about it. The expectations you have for yourself is one thing, but now you have expectations from a coach, from your friends and teammates, and now your dad.
And your parents.
Right? Now, those expectations are handcuffing you emotionally, because every move you make, you feel like you're being scrutinized. Every move you make. If you make the wrong move, you got your coach going to yell at you. Then after that, your friends are going to be on you in the locker room. You make a mistake during the game, and then you got to go deal with your pops or your mom. Just going to, why didn't you XYZ? And this is why I tell all of my parents that come to coach, don't be the thing in the audience that your children don't want to look up and see. Because they're in a sport where inside of those lines, they're in a war.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they can only focus on what's happening because it's happening at such a rapid pace, and they have to react. They got to move. They got to do certain things. So when they look up in the stands or look back at the crowd, they're looking for comfort. They're looking for that, I got your back, get out there and kill.
So imagine that. Imagine that mentality of you knowing that once you step into that court, you know deep inside that you're stepping into a war zone, but you're looking up into the crowd and you feel that you're about to fail the person that you look up to the most.
It's crippling.
How can you perform?
You can't.
It's impossible to perform. So what's gonna happen on that court is you're gonna get shot. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get ran through. You're gonna get dunked on.
You're reacting rather than you're responding
you're
rather than
thinking
reacting. Yeah.
Instead of reacting.
Yes.
And when you're in war, you can't think.
No.
You gotta react.
Literally. And this is why, like, in all sports, it's like the person who's thinking is always going to lose.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're thinking about a movement rather than it being second nature to you and it just happening, you're always going to lose. And when it comes down to a child, and this is all parents, when your children are playing sports, remember that it's a translation that has to happen. And if they're not comfortable and if they're not completely understanding that everyone around them is for them, it's going to be the hardest transition. And I'm talking about from the practice court until the basketball court. From practice till game time, they'll practice their behind off. They'll give you 110%. But if it's something that's not allowing them to transition from the practice court to the game time, they're going to find themselves in a mental war that's only going to paralyze them. They're going to find themselves when the lights come on, look like a deer in headlights. Meanwhile, every practice, they're a killer. Every time they're working out, they're going at 150%. But when those lights come on, or when they're in the front of people, stage fright happens. And people understand stage fright is not just when you're sitting here in front of a microphone or you're on stage and you're performing. Any time that you're in front of anybody for any reason to do anything is a potential that you have stage fright.
Oh yeah, especially on that court.
Yes,
especially in that baseball field when you have at a youth age you have 50, 100 people watching you play against another team.
Yeah.
Because each child out there has their parents up there,
Yes.
either whether it's their both parents or their mother and their grandparents.
Right.
It's
their nucleus.
Everybody comes with a crowd.
Correct.
So you have a crowd of people watching you. And if you're already paralyzed because of whatever situation, one person laughs in that crowd and you believe it's because of you.
It's over with.
And you're done.
Yeah, you're burnt.
You're done.
And this is why, like, it's the mental fortitude of sports that happen at home with parents that that really makes the translation happen from the practice court to the game court totally different. When you're building your child up, when you're telling them, yo, you know you got this. We've worked on this. You can do this. I know with a shadow of a doubt that you can do this. It's a consistent build up. It's like saying their affirmations to them for them.
Yeah.
Right? Because at the age of stage that they are right now, they don't know to say their affirmations over and over again.
Yeah.
And this is why I love my mother, because every single day she would tell me, boy, you are more than a conqueror.
Yeah.
You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And I after a while, I'd be like, yo, why you keep telling me that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then I would go outside and then find myself in those situations where I could either find myself fighting or running, either fighting or running. Yeah. And because I know my mother told me I was more than a conqueror, I'm made in the likeness and image of the Creator. I stay and fight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because that's replaying in my mind now. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Why would I run from you? You know what I'm saying? Like, why wouldn't I compete? I'm made to do this.
Yeah.
I've put work in this. Yeah. And all those things come back because after they're being repeated to you over and over again is brainwashing you. But it's the best way to do it. And that's how the translation from the practice court to the game time, it makes the transition so much easier because now their main force of life is behind them and they know it.
Yeah, the one thing that I'll say about the translation from practice to court is what I've learned is that the one thing that prolongs that from occurring the most is our own expectation. We see our child and we expect, because we have this perception of them, that they will do, because we know them. Mm-hmm. We know what they're capable of.
Right.
And we hold them on the type of pedestal that we know that they're greatness. We believe that they're greatness. We believe in their greatness.
Correct.
And that expectation of thinking that they will succeed what you believe of them makes you fail.
Yeah. It would definitely cause you to fail as a parent.
Because having expectations is nothing but borderline failure. Mm-hmm. So you as a parent must sit back and say, you know what? This is a day-by-day thing.
Yes.
I can't expect for him to wake up tomorrow and be LeBron James.
No.
It's not going to happen.
No, not even a little bit.
It is a long trip. It is a long mission. It's never ending, because every sport every profession, not sport, every profession you have to learn every day. I'm in the technology profession. I'm in the IT field. And if I'm not learning on a daily basis, I become a dinosaur.
Facts.
Same thing with basketball, baseball, any other sport.
Correct.
If you're not evolving your mental IQ with the sport, you become a dinosaur.
Yes, indeed, because everything is evolving daily. Everything. And when you talk about expectations, and this is something I've learned firsthand, you can't have an expectation for your family that you don't have for yourself. Meaning, you can't expect your child to succeed what you know your limits were. Because I myself tell myself, yo, I want my child to be great at whatever they put their hands to. But I also know my limitations. I know my level of input, and I know where I slack at. So if I want my child to be better in that, I can't say you gotta be better in that. I gotta show better in that.
But so what would you leave to somebody who has achieved it all?
What do you mean?
You're a father of a child, and this child is playing whatever sport.
Okay.
Right? And you've achieved everything that you're expecting from them. Isn't it still wrong to have that expectation? Because he can't be you.
That's absolutely the truth. And there's no one that proves that better than Michael Jordan himself.
That is a fact.
Because Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player at all time. And no disrespect, respectfully, his sons are trash.
That is a fact. That is a fact.
It's what it is. But in that case, I have my own opinion on that. And this could be wrong. I could be off. Or I don't have intel to say this is what happened, but this is how I feel. Michael Jordan was an individual who was a killer, was a murderer. On the court, he's gonna kill.
He came from hard times. You said a phrase the other day that I had heard in the past, but because of the situation that I was probably going through, it stuck with me. Mm-hmm. And it's hard times. Hard times make
strong men.
Make strong men. Strong men make weak children. Mm-hmm. Weak children make hard times.
Facts.
That right there alone puts what you're saying into perspective. Michael Jordan came from hard times. Mm-hmm. And that made him the killer because his brother was, for what he said, his brother was a greater ball player than he was.
Yeah, and he pushed him. But my thing is this. When you've gotten so obsessed about you being greatness, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to Kobe. Shout out to Michael Jordan. But I don't put them above LeBron when it comes to this. You know why? Because LeBron didn't let his son just go play.
Yeah.
He was with him, training his son. Not training him, training with him. His son.
Yeah.
Bronny's relationship with his father is not just, he's talking to me. It's, I shoot a jumper. My dad is shoot a jump shot.
Kobe was the same too. Kobe was the same too because
with Gigi, absolutely,
with his daughters,
absolutely, and
because Gigi was the one that loved the game.
When I say I put LeBron over that, only because of visuals and what the world gives to us, right?
Yeah,
I seen times where Kobe was like, "Yo, I don't go home."
Yeah,
during the season, I don't worry about my family. It's never been a time where LeBron says that. It's never a time where he says, "Well, my family is second nature to basketball." And for that is why I applaud him. You know what I'm saying? Because he take the time to not just tell your child how to do it, but you was doing it with him.
But it also comes, it's a different time. It was a different time. It was a time where there wasn't that much awareness of what systematically has happened to men, right? It was, that's the man's duty. The man's duty is to go out, work, bring the food to the table. That's it.
Yeah.
The woman takes care of the kids. That was the mentality back then, right? LeBron is more from our era. LeBron grew up with that mentality of, I'm gonna make sure I'm there for my kids. Yeah, I didn't have my pops.
Exactly.
I'm gonna make sure I'm there.
Exactly.
Right? And even me as a person who had my father there at all times, I always said I'm gonna be the example my father was to my kids, and the example he probably sometimes wasn't.
Right.
Because I'm gonna try and do what I need to do to the best of my ability for my kids so that they have a better future than I did.
Absolutely.
Now, do we sometimes disable them by doing that? Sometimes we do. But that's where the factor of what we were talking about earlier comes in. A lot more denials than agreements. Yes. Nah, you can't do that. Nah, you can't do that. Nah, you can't have that. No, you can't do. Even though it's breaking you inside because you want to give it to them.
Correct.
You want to give them the world. Yes. If you could go up and grab a star, give it to them in their hands, that you would do it. You would do it. I just implemented that the way that I would do it is after 20 no's.
Yeah.
After 20 no's on other stuff. And then I'll come around a month, 2 months later and be like, yo, here's the stuff.
You can take back a no, but it's hard to take back in a yes.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to backtrack on that.
Because once you give them that yes,
it's over.
They're going to hold you accountable to that yes.
Facts.
They're going to hold you accountable.
Needle to your neck.
And that also goes with your relationship.
Yeah.
If your wife asks you, can you change this light bulb? All right, babe, I got it right now. And you just sat there and that light bulb 3 weeks later still hasn't been changed. Wow. Well, you already said you was going to change it. You get what I'm saying? Now, on the other perspective, keep it real, keep it 100. You don't want to change it, just be like, nah.
Yeah. I don't feel like it right now.
I don't feel like doing that right now. Give me a minute. Let me finish doing whatever I'm doing, and then I'll look into that.
I'll get to it when I'm ready. Yeah.
You see, there's a way of going about it, but once you give an acclamation and you say, yeah, I'm going to get this done, go about it. Get it done. Get it done.
And to the point of what we expect from our children, right? Expectations are not all bad, right? Because we can't sit here and say expectations are all bad.
They're not.
Because that's what you go after. That's what drives people, right? You expect the outcome. That's what you go after certain things for. But when it comes down to expectations, especially inside of a sport, right? That expectation can't supersede the DNA. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if the child don't have it,
You don't have
you
it.
don't have it.
You don't have it.
And fathers, especially fathers, if you didn't have it, more than likely your child's not. Like, I can't expect my son to fly out of the gym like Vince Carter. I wasn't a high flyer.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I can't expect him to be able to run and as fast as LeBron. I wasn't that fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing I can expect him to do is go as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Give me your best.
Exactly.
My expectation is your best.
Exactly.
Whatever that may be. And fellas, make sure that you're okay with that internally. Because I've watched so many dudes scar their child. I've lived through fathers scarring friends of mine in the sport of basketball because their expectation was out of this world.
Yeah.
Because the truth of the matter is, the kid was good. He was better than you. You didn't even play the sport. Most times it's like, you didn't play it. You didn't give the sport all of yourself, but you want your child to do that. You can't tell them how. You can't show them how, but you want them to. And then that's the resentment now, because it's like, wait a minute. You telling me to go to work hard, but I haven't seen you move. Like, this is thought process, because even myself, my coaches get on my nerve with this. Oh, you got to be in shape if you want to play basketball. Well, how come you ain't in shape, coach? You see what I'm saying? Like, you want me to run, and while we're running, you're sitting down. Yeah. There's never a time where you're exerting the same kind of energy that we're giving out, but you want us to continue to give that.
Yeah, but that there's another side to that, right? Because I'll give you my example. I never played ball. I played ball, streets of New York. That's it, street ball. Street ball.
Nothing organized.
Nothing organized. My son came to me one day and said, I want to play basketball. After he had already been training since the age of 3 to play baseball. Because that's what I played, right? That's where I could guide you.
Right.
I can probably help you a lot more because that's in your DNA.
Right.
At the age of 6, he comes, he tells me, I don't want to play baseball. I want to play basketball. I was heartbroken. But you know what?
Glad being honest.
This is what you want, baby boy? Okay.
We're gonna go with it.
Let's go with it. His dream becomes my dream.
Right.
At that moment, once he says he wants to play basketball, I'm out here watching videos on how to train them, how to do X, Y, Z. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
and now
right.
I've already placed the expectation in my mind that, well, I know this is going to be expensive. I need to start looking for coaches because I'm limited in what I can train.
Right.
I can teach you old school ball. I can teach you street ball. I can teach you how to be strong out there, but I can't teach you organized ball.
Right.
I can't teach you what you would need to be able to succeed in what it is that you want.
Right.
So I went ahead and I do so.
Right.
But when you are 4 years in and your son or daughter has told you, my dream is to be an NBA player, you've made that your dream immediately.
Yeah, you start having those good dreams.
You made that your dream immediately to make sure that your son reaches his dream.
Right.
So now you start pushing. You start pushing at that point. Not pushing you training, but now you're finding trainers here and there.
Right.
You're doing everything in your power so that your son gets or your daughter gets the experience that they need so that they can propel in what it is that they want to do. But once you start doing that and you don't start seeing, you start feeling that you want it more than they do, that's where the issues start occurring. Yes. And you as a father, as a parent, need to start realizing when that's taking place and step back and say, hold up, I can't. Because at that point, I will no longer be his father or his mother. At that point, I'm only going to be the person that's pushing him.
Yeah.
And that's how he's going to resent me or she's going to resent me.
Correct.
I tell you by experience.
Yeah.
I just lived this.
Yeah.
I just lived this. And I had to meditate and realize myself, what am I doing? What am I doing? It's not for me to push him to this point. He needs to want it. He needs to want it more than what I want it for him, because it's not for me.
Right.
I'm already a successful grown man, very happy of where I am. But what I don't want to see is my son or my daughter struggling.
Right.
So that's why you end up pushing.
Correct. And
then they come back. If you want to see their future brighter than they want to see their future, you're going to crash.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
You are both going to clash.
And the way I look at it is like, when you have to work someone up to something, right? When you got to tell them to go do it, right? It's something that it's like we used the word before, a chore, right? Oh, I got to go do this chore. But it's a different energy when you have to go tell them, like, yo, you've been outside for 3 hours, come inside, right? It's, yo, you've been out there for that long, but you got to come and eat. You got to get some rest. That switch happens when they realize that they want it bad enough, when they want to compete harder than their friends. So for me, I can say the switch happened for me where it was like, we used to go every day after school from Tuesday to Friday to open gyms, right? Before the season would start. To just get all of us acclimated and get us in shape and have some fun playing basketball. And shout out to Mr. Daly. Rest in peace to him. He used to open a gym for us, old white man, and he had a hell of a jump shot, bro. Like, he couldn't run, couldn't jump, but give him that ball, he gonna sink it.
Yeah.
And he would open the gym for us, and I never forget just not being able to compete. Like, just everyone doing whatever they wanted to me. Like, I was just literally just being abused. And I was like, this is not gonna keep happening to me. This right here, this feeling, I never forget walking home from Great Neck Road, elementary school, walking down Great Neck Road and thinking to myself, I'm going to run my behind off. I'm going to play. I'm going to get better. And that summer, my mother, she would tell you, because back then the backyard was only a square, probably the size of this room, right? And the rim. So it was just about the paint. So I didn't have no room to really work. That summer, my stepdad asphalted the front grass from the fence over to the middle of the yard and gave me all that asphalt. So now I had the whole half court. I worked to the point where my neighbors used to tell my mother, can he stop bouncing the ball so early in the morning? Could he wait until at least like 11 o'clock in the morning or 12?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to be better than my friends.
Yeah.
I didn't want them to keep being able to do what they was doing and laughing and poking fun and having to go through that all the time. So I think that we can't want it better than the kids, and the kids have to have a driving reason internally for them to push past and go after that sport.
But it has a lot to do with the times that we're living, the kids that we're raising, right? Yeah. Because we're raising our kids to be good kids. We come from a time where you had to be tough. Yeah. So that mentality that you had was a way of survival for you.
Yeah.
These kids don't have that killer instinct nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to say all kids don't, but the majority don't have that killer instinct in them. And it takes a parent to be there every day. Hey, did you go outside? Hey, did you take a shower? Hey, did you brush your teeth? Hey, did you do your bed? Hey. Right. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Until you get tired.
Right.
And then when you get tired, you got to keep going.
Correct.
Because you can't get tired.
Right.
Because if not, then what ends up happening is that they end up falling into a comfort zone where they do nothing and spend all day on a phone doing this.
Yeah.
And you know what that creates, right? Yeah. It creates people who have no social skills, that are afraid to be out in the world, because they look at this and the instant gratification of being able to scroll, because that's increasing their dopamine, right?
And they believe that if they watch it, they're it.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Kids
so
these days.
That's where I was going. Every time they're scrolling, they see that this has occurred, and this guy was able to do that right away on TikTok. All of a sudden,
they have the power to do it.
They have an increase of dopamine because they've achieved something. Mm-hmm. They believe they've achieved something. It's the same thing with a video game. Yeah. When you allow your child to be on a video game all day, every day, that becomes, winning a video game becomes real life. Yeah. Because the same way that a person's dopamine increases playing cards and winning a card game, it happens with video games, but a lot stronger. Why? because you win a match every 10 minutes.
And you're submerged in a video world. Your brain is submerged in it, so you believe you're in it.
Now imagine you winning every 10 minutes. Where in life does that happen? No. So once you do the correlation of the video game life and real life, you're bound to fail in real life because your expectation of winning is every 10 minutes.
Yeah. And also too, when you look at what video games do to the young ones right now, like where we used to, like me and my man, shout out to my man David, we would literally play 2K when it first came out for hours straight, right? But then after the game was over, it was like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna bust your ass, nigga. Let's go outside. Because you can't guard me in real life.
Bro, that's when I started playing basketball because of NBA Jams.
Shout out to NBA Jams.
No lie.
He's heating up.
He's on fire.
Oh, boom, shaka-laga.
That's a fact. You used to see me outside trying to do everything. And what was the other one? There was another one that they used to do all under the leg and spinning, that it was the and one moves.
Street ball.
Street ball.
Yeah.
Those were the games that I was like, bro, you see me out crossing and trying to fucking flip it.
Now I'm going to work on it. Yeah.
I want to do all of that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
And that's the difference. Like, the kids these days, they'll watch the video and believe because they watched it.
They could do it.
They could do it.
Without practicing.
And that's, and what we didn't realize as young kids that we were working. Right? The practice that we were doing, the playing that we were doing was the actual work that made us better. So that these kids are not getting that work because they're sitting home on a phone where they should be competing and bumping.
Bro, I remember vividly, bro. Finish playing street baller and go outside and try to imitate every one of those moves.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I was able to.
Yeah.
Because I'm lucky if I got to a cross and drive.
Listen.
You get what I'm saying?
Listen. but all those moves had to come from somewhere, though.
The reality was the try.
Yes, they had to come from somewhere. You had to go out there and try to work on it.
I want to try and imitate this.
Exactly.
These kids, they barely even want to sit in front of a TV and study tape.
Yeah.
They don't want to see a basketball game because they can watch it on highlights on YouTube.
They only want to watch the made buckets. Yeah. It's a different time, bro. And honestly, like, if we want our children to excel in anything, we got to submerge them in it.
And we have to push them.
And meaning, when I say submerge
not push too hard.
I mean, like, it's all that they have, right? If for example, my daughter, she's starting to really push about she wants to play basketball. And, you know, my son follows whatever she does. So I'm watching, like, her intensity about it, how much she really wants it. Is she willing to sit down and learn this? Does she want to do this for real? And I'm only going to push her and based upon her wants. Now, submerging her, right? Because how do you submerge a kid when it comes to a sport? All right, when you wake up in the morning, what are you doing? We're not watching TV. We're going on our run. Because you can't play a sport if you can't play a sport.
Yeah.
You don't have the energy or the wind power or to be in the shape, you can't play.
Yeah.
So we're going to go run. After that, we come back and eat, chill, get a few minutes. What are we doing after that? Oh, we're gonna work out. Now it's time to work on some dribbles, because this is submerging now. It's an all day thing. See, when you look at athletes like NBA players,
but it has to be made fun.
Absolutely.
Because if you don't make it fun, then it becomes work.
But it has to be fun to them naturally.
But that's what I'm saying. When they're little, it has to be enjoyable. So you put in that work that you need to put in, but making it enjoyable for them. It's reverse psychology.
Yes.
It's reverse psychology. It's you grab the hard work and you make it entertaining so that they don't look at it as hard work. That's how you build the when you love what you work, you don't work a day in your life.
Correct.
Right? As an adult, you learn how to love what you're doing so that you don't feel like you're working.
Bro, that's me in the gym right now. Like, and people who know me know, like, I've been a gym rat my entire life, bro. Anybody will tell you I can spend literally all day in the gym. That's my safe haven. I told you. It's my We still working on them, y'all. We still working on them. And I look at it now as work because I'm older now.
Yeah.
And as I was working out today, even today while I was working out, I got down to the last end of my workout and I was getting ready to go sit in the sauna. And something was like, yo, you ain't got to finish this workout. Just go quit. Just go sit in the sauna. And I felt like I did enough and I could. But then I reminded myself, this is all you're giving to your body all day long. This is the only thing you're going to do physical all day. Why not give it all you got? And then that put me back in the concept and mindset of, this is what I like to do. This is fun for me. This is what I want to be doing. It's not about the pain. It's not about taking myself out of my daily activities to go stop, to go sweat. It's that I enjoy this process. I enjoy what I'm doing. And that's what, like you said, to your point of teaching them to enjoy it. Like, this is what you want to do. And me personally, as a coach, a young man, when I'm coach training them, like one day out of the week, probably that'd be the most we do alone. But to your point of making it fun, they need the camaraderie. Yeah. They need another one of their people with them to work with them. Because when somebody's down in that floor giving you push-ups with them, it's a lot easier than when you're down there by yourself and somebody counting it out for you.
Yeah.
When you look over to your right and see somebody struggling with you, you want to push a little harder.
Yeah.
And young boys need that. They need to sharpen their tools against each other. We didn't get better because we sat at home and just played by ourselves. We practiced by ourselves, and then we took those moves and we worked on them against our friends. We tried to get better by doing things that we didn't have in our skill set, but doing them multiple times, we got better at. Yeah. And that's what we got to teach our kids. It's not about today being good. It's about each and every day being 1% better. It's they call it a 365% turnaround because it's 365 days in the year, and if you get 1% better each and every day, by the end of the year, you'll be 365 better. Because 1% better. And you ask yourself, what does that mean? What's 1%? Just give a little bit more than you gave yesterday.
A little bit more.
If you do 2 20s today, tomorrow do 3.
Yep.
If you shot 100 jump shots today, tomorrow shoot 105.
And make sure that you keep that mental state.
Yes.
Because that's the one thing that you need to teach your kids. It's keep that mentality of, I want to be better. And how I'm going to be better is by doing a little bit more every day.
Yes.
A little bit more. You don't have to do it. If you did 10 push-ups, you don't have to do 20. Do 11.
Right. 1% better.
One step at a time.
That's it.
One step at a time, you're gonna reach the top of that staircase.
Bro, and even to that point, like even working out myself, like I can't get back everything I lost over the last 4 years in 2 days. It's never gonna happen. But what I can do is every single day build this body back up to where I can get back in what I had lost in 6 years. And that's with anything, with anybody. There's nothing, and this is my favorite slogan, nothing happens overnight except for eye boogers and orgasm if you get lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and you can't sell eye boogers.
You feel me? Like, well, we don't know that anywhere in the States. You gotta look at the black market. You never know. You never know, man. But look at that. We on good point today, man. We on good timing. Look at that. Yo, listen, but today's conversation was about our expectations about our children and pushing them. And one thing I want to say to every parent out there is push, but don't push them past your expectations of yourself. Like, we want better for our children, but we have to understand is like they can only be as great as they want to be and as great as God allows them to be. And we pushing them past that limit or harder than they can go is only going to hurt our relationship and things going on down the line. So please be aware that you can't live. And wait, this is before I go further. Fellas, you can't live vicariously through your children.
Cannot.
You cannot. Whatever you did not do or you're struggling to try to do right now, that's on you. It is not on them. So if you didn't make it to a certain level in sports, you didn't make it there. You can't force them to get past that. And if you want better for them, just remember, you took a process and their process is going to require the time that they need to get through it. You can't make them get through it any faster, and they won't be able to do it any faster.
Adding to that, the worst thing you could tell your child is, when I was your age, I used to do X, Y, and Z. Well,
and you lying too, probably.
I'm sorry. That's not going to help.
Yeah.
So to add to that, I want to give a big, warm shout out to my son's basketball team, Venom family. You guys have been it all. You guys have seen my son develop through what it is. Will, I don't gotta say much. Big shout out to you, bro. You know that. You know how I take you, bro. You greatly appreciate what you do. Greatly appreciate what you do, and you know that he's your son as well.
Absolutely, man. And shout out to every coach out there, man. To all you coaches out there, shout out to y'all, man, because y'all not getting paid, majority of y'all. Y'all do it because y'all want to do it. Y'all do it from the love of your heart. And no one understands the kind of attachment a coach has to a children except for a coach.
That is a fact.
I am a coach that any child that I coach is my child. And run through a wall for them is light work when you talk about it. And what we all want to see is the next generation just be better than we were. But with that expectation, we have to make sure that we're putting in that same work. So shout out to every coach, to every parent that's going out there, seeing about their child, that's putting in the work with their child. I salute you because I know it's hard work. It's hard work providing all day. It's hard work making sure that the house, the lights, the bills, everything is taken care of. And then on top of that, to go out there and be a dad and coach. So I salute you. I appreciate you. And trust me, the future of your children appreciate you as well.
I want to add one more thing to my son. I push you because I know the amount of greatness you have in you. "10 years from now, you're going to look back at this video and you're going to understand everything that I've pushed you for. I love you, Papi. You already know, man.
Yo, you heard it first, man. Real father, real time, showing real love to his son, man.
And to my godsons as well, Xavier and Angel. No, I see you. We see you. Your father's busting his butt. Your mother's busting their butt so that they there with you. Keep pushing. You guys got this. We love you.
Every one of y'all out there, man. And to the pops out there that has a young boy and the moms out there that's listening in, take this moment to let the young boys listen to this. Your parents love you. They push you because they care. I just wrote a post today about my bishop who passed away. And I remember today I had a remembrance of all the wars we had. All the verbal wars and all the times he came out and he pulled me out of this place I wasn't supposed to be. And the times he fought with me. And I remember he fought with me because he loved me. Your parents are fighting with you and they're pushing you because they love you. They want the best for you. They want to see you be the best version of yourself possible. And yes, at times it might hurt the way they push you. And at times it may seem to be excessive. But trust when I tell you this, that every single one of your parents are doing it from the place of love. And they're doing it because they know that there's a version of you that has to come out. And that's the only way it's going to come out is through love and being pushed and being dedicated to the process. So with that being said, understand your parents love you and they're doing it for a purpose. And parents, stay down, man. Don't get tired. Stay down. Keep fighting with them. Keep going because if you do, tomorrow will be bright, man.
Yes, it will.
So as usual, man, we're about to get up out of here. So as always, do us a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Drop your comments down in the bottom. We're going to check them out. Until next time, we see you guys. Fathers, to the world, you're just a dad, bro. That's all you are. But to your family, you are their world. Don't forget that. And until the next time we see you in these podcast streets, be good to yourself and the ones around you. And if you can't be good to the ones around you, that's all right. Just get those people from around you. Yo, this is your boy RJD, the Imperfect Gentleman, and
your boy JP, the Imperfect Husband. Keep being our imperfect family.
Please, stay with us. We rocking. And this has been another dope episode of the Imperfect Fathers Podcast. Y'all be blessed because we will. Peace, y'all.
Peace.
Another one.